Hey everyone, welcome! Ready to explore yoga. But not just the poses you see on Instagram, you know? Today we're going deeper, way deeper.
Deeper into how yoga can help you really know yourself better and feel good mentally.
Yes. We're talking about how, get this, the way we move our bodies can actually reveal hidden parts of ourselves, like secret stories we didn't even know we were carrying.
It's this whole fascinating idea called corporeal psychology.
Hmm.
Basically, your body remembers stuff, like a living diary of everything you've gone through. Happy stuff, sad stuff, even trauma.
Okay, hold on, that's kind of blowing my mind a little. So you're saying our bodies are holding on to way more than we even realize up here, taps forehead.
Precisely. And yoga, the poses, especially, the asana,
Yeah.
they can be like the key to unlocking all that hidden stuff.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me an example.
Say you're doing a hip opener, right? And you feel this tightness. Maybe it's not just your muscles. Could be like sort of sadness, fear, who knows? Your body's trying to tell you something.
Whoa, okay, so it's like our bodies are whispering all these stories, and yoga's how we learn to listen.
Mhm.
This is way more than just stretching, huh?
Exactly. These Spanish yoga teachings we're diving into, they're all about paying attention to like the little sensations as you move. The easy parts, the hard parts. Each pose is a clue to how your past experiences, even the subconscious stuff, is affecting you right now.
Okay, I'm starting to see it. But how do we actually use this in our own yoga practice? Where do we even begin?
So these teachings focus on four main attitudes you can work on through asana: balance, strength, openness, and presence. It's like mental training alongside the physical stuff, and it can really impact your everyday life too.
Love that. All right, let's start with balance then. Seems like a good foundation.
Absolutely. The source material, it talks a lot about poses like tree pose, half moon, stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're all about finding your center, literally and mentally.
Yeah. When you're trying to balance, can't be off in la la land. Gotta be in the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not beating yourself up when you wobble, which, let's be real, we all do.
Oh, 100%.
It's not about being perfectly still. It's more like you notice those wobbly moments and you just gently bring yourself back to center with kindness.
That makes me think about, what was that other thing these teachings mention? Equanimity. It's like that has to play a role in here somewhere, right?
100%. Equanimity is all about keeping your mind calm and steady, even when everything around you feels crazy. Like finding that inner chill we tap into during those balance poses, it's super helpful for dealing with, well, life.
So basically, by working on balance poses, we're not just getting more steady on our feet, we're training our minds to handle whatever life throws at us.
Exactly. Like building a strong core, but for your mind.
Yeah.
And speaking of strength,
This is where those poses come in that make you work for it,
Yeah.
right? Plank, Warrior Three, anything that gets you breathing hard.
exactly. And those poses, yeah, they build physical strength, but also mental toughness. You learn to push through challenges on the mat and off.
There's even this quote from the Bhagavad Gita in the source material. It's like, the one who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is truly wise. That's pretty deep. Break that down for me.
Well, that's a good one. It's basically saying there's a balance between pushing yourself and letting go.
Okay.
So yeah, in those tough poses, you got to put in effort to grow stronger.
Yeah.
But there's also wisdom in not getting fixated on nailing the perfect pose. Sometimes the real work is just holding the pose, even when it's hard, and trusting the process.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. So it's not about pushing ourselves till we break. It's about finding that sweet spot, effort, and surrender.
Exactly.
Trusting the process.
And that, my friend, is a lesson that applies to way more than just yoga.
So true. It's like, yeah, sometimes the bravest thing you can do is just let go. Which kind of makes me think about the next attitude, openness. That one can be a little scary, you know?
It definitely can be. And it's funny, right? Often the scariest parts of a pose, those are the ones, the most important lessons. Like the teachings we're looking at, they're big on back bends for opening up.
Right, back bends.
Cobra pose, bridge pose, even wheel pose, those.
Okay, so back bends, I gotta be honest, some days I love them, some days not so much.
Totally. We've all been there. But here's the thing. These Spanish yogis, they say it's not just physical, that opening of your chest, your heart,
Yeah.
like you get vulnerable emotionally too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like you're literally opening your heart to the world in a way.
Exactly. And that can be kind of freaky, right? But what these teachings remind us is growth, it often comes with discomfort. Like it's in those moments when you're leaning into the unknown, that's when you really grow.
Yeah.
You learn to trust more, love more, connect more.
You know, it's making me think about how often we close ourselves off emotionally, just like we do physically, like hunched over our phones all day.
Right.
Maybe back bends are a good reminder to ask ourselves, hey, are we open to receiving good things too?
I love that. It's about taking that awareness we're building on the mat and bringing it into everyday life. Are we open to new experiences, new people? Are we holding ourselves back from really being ourselves?
Ooh, good questions. Okay, I'm seeing how each of these attitudes, they're all connected. Balance, strength, openness. It all builds, right?
Right.
Which brings us to the last attitude, presence. This one feels big,
It is a big one. And this philosophy, it says presence. It's not just for one pose, it's for all of them. And for life, really.
There's sense.
But there's certain poses, like for meditation, easy pose, lotus pose, those can be super helpful for cultivating presence.
I can see that. Those are all about stillness, right?
Yeah.
Body and mind.
Exactly. It's about being right here, right now, in your body, feeling your breath, the sensations, even the thoughts that pop up without judging them. There's this metaphor in the source material. It compares presence to a mountain or a big tree. No matter what the weather's doing, they're just solid.
I love that image. It's so true. Like we all get caught up in our heads sometimes, but that presence, it's about finding that stillness within no matter what's going on around us.
Perfectly said.
Yeah.
And it's not like you achieve it and you're done. It's a practice. You're always being invited back to this moment on the mat and off.
So good. Okay, so we've covered a lot. Balance, strength, openness, and presence. All super important for knowing ourselves better and growing. But how do we actually make this part of our yoga practice? Like how do we bring all this awareness to our mats?
That's a really good question, and I'm glad you brought that up because you don't have to be like a yoga guru to get something out of this.
Right. I mean, next time you unroll your mat, just try to approach it with a sense of curiosity.
Oh, I like that. Like instead of just going through the motions, we can actually use this idea, this corporeal psychology, to get more out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Notice those little feelings, those emotional things that come up in different poses.
Yeah. And let those be your guide. It's like you're exploring those hidden parts of yourself.
We're like archaeologists of our own bodies.
Yes, exactly. Approaching it all with kindness,
I love it.
recognizing that your body has so much wisdom to share.
This has honestly changed how I think about yoga. It's not just about touching your toes anymore. It's
Right.
like this whole journey of self-discovery.
Absolutely. And the beautiful thing is that anyone can do it.
Yeah.
You don't need to be super flexible or anything. You just have to show up with curiosity and compassion and listen to what your body's telling you.
So good. I keep thinking about what you said earlier about how our bodies have more information in them than we're even aware of.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is.
Like, we are capable of knowing ourselves so much more deeply. And paying attention to our physical sensations, it helps us unlock that.
Wow. It's like we've had this amazing source of wisdom inside us all along.
Exactly.
We just haven't known how to tap into it until now. This is amazing.
It's powerful stuff.
It really is so eye-opening as we're wrapping up here. Is there one thing you want our listeners to take away from all of this?
Oh, that's a good question. I really hope everyone listening feels empowered. Like they have what they need to feel more balanced, stronger, more open, and present in their lives.
Yeah.
And that yoga can be the path to get there.
Such a good message. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing all this with us today. This was really eye-opening for me.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. I love chatting about all this with you.
And to everyone listening, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the world of yoga and self-discovery. Remember, your body might just hold the key to a wisdom you haven't even begun to imagine. Until next time, keep exploring.